Hello everyone, and thank you for clicking on the tutorial. If you're watching this video, this is the first steps you should be taking in getting started with Wealth Strategies Leadership Group. You're building your agency. You should have just finished signing up your agent agreements, and the next step was to log into your personalized website, and we're going to build we're going to build your personalized websites as the first step. So I'm here to give you direction on how to do that. When you signed up, you created a password and a username. So the first step that you will have taken, if you're watching this video already, is you went to WSLGonline.com and you clicked login. That will bring you to a login page. Now I've created a John Doe account for the purposes of this tutorial, and we can see just like a new signee, a new person signing up for the very first time, and what to expect. Well, we don't expect that all the time. Hold on one second. Must have been a typo. Let's see, I created. There we go. That's crazy. I don't know why that's happening. Well, everyone, I do apologize. What I'll do is I'll log in under my account. I know I just created an account and I opened it a minute ago, so I do apologize for that. So the very first thing that it's going to ask you to do when you sign up, a box will appear and says you need to upload your picture. One of the first, some of the things that we give you right off the bat are tools to build your agency. And there's two self-replicating websites, and we're going to put your personal data on there, your phone number, your email address, and your picture. And we're going to use those tools to market and also to recruit. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to come to this section here called Getting Started. And if you click the button, this is where you'll be able to find this video tutorial. So you can watch the video tutorial, or if you're more visual, you can do that. Or if you'd like to read, we have the verbal instructions here, Getting Started. So WSLG provides each agent 2 personalized replicated websites at no charge. These sites are very important tools for building your agency. Before you do anything, you must first upload your picture. So then you can use the links found in your welcome letter to open these websites. Also, please watch the tutorial video as soon as possible for a guide on how to build your websites. You can modify your website information by logging into your back office, going to the left menu, and at the bottom, clicking Replicated Sites and Config. So if we mouse over to the left-hand side, as per our instructions, we scroll down to the bottom where it says Replicated Sites. If we click on it, it will drop down a box that gives you two more drop-down menus that you can choose, and we're choosing the config. So this takes you to a page that is a data collection page. The data collection page that we have here, you type in your address, and in this case, it's a business address, so it has a second address line with the suite number, the city, the state, zip code, and this is the phone number that's going to be posted on the website. So use the number that you want people to be able to get in touch with you, and one that you're going to leave a message that relates to your agency. And then also your email address. This is brian@collegesmartstrategies.com. And then here's the part that's going to be blank. In the picture section will be blank. So we click the browse button. And one thing you'll notice when you were talking with somebody, you were probably told that you'll get a copy of your contract that you just signed, your agent agreement that you just signed. Well, here's where your agent agreement is. So you can download it and save that on your computer, or you can keep it stored here. It's always going to be available to you. But what you'll want to do in this section is you're going to want to upload your picture. So here's where you're going to pick the browse button one more time. And it's going to take you to your computer. And on my desktop is where I saved my computer. Sorry, my picture on my computer is saved on my desktop. So it's the Brian G picture. I click on that and I click the open button, or you can actually double click the picture, or you can highlight it and click the open button, and it will take the picture and put it right into this menu right here. So if we read down on the bottom where it says note, after uploading the picture, please click on the name of the file above to select which picture you want to update. So you can upload a number of different pictures here, and you can change them from time to time, but you have to actually select the picture. So if you have multiple pictures here, you're gonna wanna hover over the actual picture that you have and click the button. Once that's done, you come over here to the update button on the right-hand side and click update. And it'll say that you have successfully updated your websites. Now you just created a bunch of different sites. So to find where these sites are, they're down on the bottom. The very first one, if you click in the highlighted red hyperlink, it says view WSLG replicated site. So if you click that, you'll recognize the site because you've used this to sign up under somebody else, or you've seen the generic one that you've used to log in. But what this does is it puts your picture on your site for marketing. So your picture's there. And up at the top, all the data that you put in, your name, your phone number, and your email address will show up on the top right-hand side. So if you were to do a recruit, they would need to come to your page in order to sign up. So if they were to come to your page and click the sign up button, and you recognize this page because you just signed up yourself, if you scroll down, what that does is it puts a personalized code down in here that can't be changed or anything. My code is BG46144. So it automatically does that. So when the new recruit fills out their personal information and clicks submit, they go under your hierarchy. So that's how the recruiting process is done. Okay, so the second replicated site that's created as well is your College Smart site. And if you click on it, this page, and it has your phone number in the top left, has your email address as well, and your picture will be further down the website. But this is the page that you use for actually opening schools. And that's another tutorial that you'll see, that you'll be watching after this one. But this is a very, very important tool that we use to get into private schools and to book the workshops. So creating these two websites, uploading your picture and creating these two websites are the very first steps you need to take, because those are the tools that you're going to use to grow your agency. Okay, so back to our replicated sites. There's also a couple of pages for some of the more tech savvy people out there who want to let all of their friends know that they've joined a new college funding business. They've got some landing pages. So if you click on the landing page and you click view, this will take you to 5 amazing ways to pay for college. This is a tool that you can send to your all your social media. You can post it and they will come in here and write in their personal information if they want to find out more. It's a great tool that you can use. Also, there's one that's used for email marketing. There's a follow-up replicated site that gets created as well. But it's the same sort of thing. They're designed to be used to let your people in your circle of influence and people that you used to go to school with, and it's for social marketing. So those are what those tools are for. The most important, I believe, are the ones that we're going to teach you how to use. Is your WSLG replicated site for recruiting people and your College Smart site for opening schools. So if we go back to the Getting Start button, it's written down here exactly what I pretty much just explained to you, but let's go over it again to make sure that I didn't forget anything. So website number 1 is a new associate enrollment. This site is used to sign up new business associates, placing them in your downline for tracking and overrides. To sign up a new associate, email him or her the first link found on your welcome letter. Now I'm going to pause right there for a second, and I'm going to go to the welcome letter. One, you had it emailed to you. When you put in your email address when you signed up, it generated a welcome letter. Now, if you lose that email, that's okay. We've placed in your dashboard, the dashboard is the main page when you log in. If you go over to the very far right, you'll see a section here that says welcome letter. So your welcome letter is there. You can click on it. And this is a copy of welcome aboard to Wealth Strategies Leadership Group. But more importantly, when we get down to our replicated site, the address is right here. So your hyperlink, if you were to copy this and go up to a new page. You can paste this in an email and send it to somebody, or you can tell them what it is and they can type it in. I find it more easy to email it to them. And this takes them straight to my replicated site. So again, when they go to sign up, it's going to have already placed my personal code BG46144. So when they complete their sign up, it knows to plug them under my genealogy. Okay. So let's go back to the instructions. Okay. So when we found on your welcome letter, your invite code is unique and already assigned when the new associate clicks the sign up link on your personal website. Please note there is a welcome letter shortcut in case you lose your welcome letter email on the right side of the back office dashboard toward the top. Okay. The website number 2 that we talked about, that's the College Smart Strategies one. Website 2, prospecting and opening schools. This site is designed to help you prospect and open schools. Our process shows you in detail how to use the website to book workshops when in front of the school decision maker, i.e. principal, sometimes it's a headmaster. The last 2 that I got happened to be college counselors. So it just depends on how they set up their school. But you're going to take that information and print this website on your business card. Business cards can be ordered in the back office under the business center on the left-hand side. I'll show you that in a second. Actually, I can show you now. If you go up to business center, it's the 1, 2, 3, 4th one down called business center. Business cards. And here is an example. This is Doing to Win. This is the front side of the card. This is the logo. And here's all the details on the card. Now on the back side, you can choose to have different things. You can put College Smart Strategies on the back. But what I do is, this is a dual card. I put Wealth Strategies Leadership Group on the back because the cards are also used for recruiting. And also what I do is on the back side of my card, I choose that to be non-glossy. This is sometimes where I write notes for whoever I'm giving it to. And you find if you have glossy on both sides, it's harder to write. And so I choose to have the nice glossy on the front. It looks professional and nice, but on the back, it's flat, matte, so you can write on it with a pen. Okay, let's go back to our our page. Website number 2. Okay, so this is the additional tools after I showed you the business card section. Additional website tools. WSLG also provides additional replicated web pages for the tech-savvy agent who wants to share their college funding business venture on social media. And I showed you those. To set up and configure your replicated pages, you will need the following. You're going to need a picture. So you'll need a picture of yourself. If you take it on your phone, a lot of the times you'll find that it'll turn your picture, from what I've tried with a few agents, it turns your picture 90 degrees to one direction, depending on how you're holding your phone. And so that's why we have the rotate function in there that you can use to change your picture and rotate it around. But you'll need a picture, and you're going to need your phone number and your email address that you're going to be putting on your website. So you need those 2 things before you go to click on your replicated site, configure, and we just showed you a demonstration of how to do that. But if you do have a picture where you need to rotate, you can do that. You can rotate it we can flip it upside down in case it's upside down. We can view it. Or we can flip it right or left, and you can do it right there, and you can save it. So it has the ability to do that. You can also crop the picture for whatever reason. If you wanted to, if you had a picture where you just wanted yourself and there was more than one person in there, you can take it and you can crop the image, and you adjust the head size, so much space above and beside your head, that kind of thing for a proper headshot. Okay, so now that you've been shown how to upload your picture and create your replicated pages, the next step that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your certification test. So to do that, you go to the College Funding Roadmap, and this is going to be where you can download your study guide. This is where you're going to learn information. If you're already an expert on IULs and indexed annuity and other life products that we suggest to our clients because it doesn't affect their financial aid when they're applying for it, they don't get penalized. So in those products, so those are the products that we recommend when people are restructuring their money. But you're going to learn all that information. You're going to learn what EFC is, expected family contribution. You're going to learn about tax implications in the study guide. So you can download it here. Click the download button. It brings you to a page called College Smart Training Doc, 826 KB. You'll click the download button again. Here's where you're going to want to save it. You can save it to your desktop. You're going to use this in studying, and you can also use it while you're taking your test. It's an open book test. We believe testing isn't to base your knowledge on how good your memory is on something you just read. We believe it's used as a way of studying and a way of retaining information. The more you read and look up answers, the more you're going to retain it. So here's what it looks like. There are 74 pages. It's pretty bold spacing. The old one used to be 120 pages, and it was you get four times the amount of data on one page. So we double space nowadays. I want to read something from the beginning, how college admissions and financial aid departments work together. The third paragraph down starts with, the admissions and financial aid offices are usually run by a department called the enrollment management. This department starts the admissions and financial aid process with an annual budget or the amount of money they will need each year to operate the college. Okay, so reason why I read that is these 74 pages, the questions to the test are in order to make them easier to look up. So once you've read through your study guide a couple of times, I want you to come over here to the section on the left that says College Smart Cert. If you click on that, it'll drop down a box that allows you to take an online exam. Here's the exam. There are 40 questions to the exam, and they're multiple choice or true false. The first question, both the administrations and financial aid offices are usually run by a department called enrollment management. True or false? Well, we just read that one in the third paragraph of the study guide. The answer is A, true. So you can mark A and you move on to your next question. So we tried to make them in order of the actual study guide, in order of the questions. So the 40th question will be found at the very end of the 74th page, and so on and so forth, to give you an idea. Now, one thing to note about taking the test, it isn't a timed test, but what happens is our hosting company, where we host our website, doesn't allow for us to, if we stay on one page, if we stay on this page for too long, even though we're making answers to the questions, it's going to see it as inactivity, even though we're scrolling up and down and making selections. And it actually times out at about 55 minutes. And there's no real workaround for us to do that. So what happens is, it shouldn't take you 55 minutes to do this test, unless you're really trying to get 100% on the test and you're trying to verify your answers before you hit submit. It's not important that you get 100% on the test. It is important that you are studying, so we can appreciate that. But go ahead and take the test, and if you don't pass it, you can take it as many times as you like. And the questions you get wrong will be indicated, and you can go back and reread and study those ones, or see if there's a better answer available. Maybe you just made a mistake. But in your 55 minutes, let's say, 55 minutes ends and you're on question, 36, okay? You don't know that time has ended yet. And then you go down and you answer question 37, 38, 39, and 40, and you hit view results. And all of a sudden the screen goes blank. You're like, what happened? Don't panic. What happens is the hosting company has decided that inactivity is timed out, but it will remember when it timed out and when that 55 minutes occurred, and that was on question 36. So you log out, or you close the thing, you log back in, and you go back to the online test. If you'll go back to this section on the top, and you'll click on College Cert again and take the online exam, and it will have all your answers in there from before. You can see they're marked on this one. So, and you'll see, oh, when did I time out? And you'll go, oh, it was question 36. So then you just have those last 4 questions to do again. Sorry, there's nothing we can do about that. It is with the hosting company. It's one of the largest hosting companies in the world, and they're not going to change for us by any means. But we believe that if it takes you more than 55 minutes, there's probably only a couple of questions left. And so you'll just have to go back and answer those few at the very end again, and then submit it again. And it'll score you. When you finish scoring and you score above an 80%, you'll get a little certificate saying that you passed. And that's really when you can go and order your business card. Once you've passed this test that we created for you, and you've already created your replicated, you've created your pages, your sites, that's when you're going to want to go to the business center and go to business cards and go ahead and order those business cards for yourself. And you can put Dewey Nguyen, Brian Gunnarsson, College Smart Specialist. That's when you become a specialist. Now, later on, you can do more certifications and more trainings if you like, but to get started, we want you to at least be this knowledgeable of the questions that we put forward. You're not going to become an expert overnight, but you are going to have more than enough information to be able to go into these schools and talk intelligently about college funding with these parents and these families. Also, if you ever get stuck on something and they ask you a question you don't know, you let them know that this is the information gathering process, and you're going to take all their information, you're going to go back, and you're going to come back and present them with the, after you've done your homework on their specific needs, you're going to present them with what's best for them. And so that's when you've mentally or taken the note, or you've handwritten down the note that you didn't know the answer to, and come and ask somebody like myself or a Dewey or a Daryl or any of the other people who've been around longer, and we can answer those questions for you to better prepare you. But you're not going to get stumped too many times. You may get an oddball question you don't know the answer to, and that's fine. And you're not going to know everything. Believe me, I don't know everything, and I'm always learning. And that's okay. It's okay not to know all the answers. So this is designed to get you knowledgeable and up and out the door and into the schools to start opening schools. So the next part that we need to do, now that you've done that, is we need to get you appointed with our carrier. You can't write any business unless you're appointed with our carrier. So at the bottom of the Getting Started section, after we've created our pages, after we've passed our test, we're going to click on this section. It says for licensed members, because you guys already have your life license. We know because we're only pretty much recruiting people with life licenses who have decided to make this industry their profession already. So our carrier, our number one carrier, is American National. American National is one of our main carriers. Licensed agents should get appointed with American National first. The appointment process is easy, but there are two possible scenarios. Okay, one scenario, if you are not currently appointed with American National, you've never been appointed with American National, here's what you do. American National uses a third-party system called No More Forms for agent appointments. You're going to view detailed instructions here for additional information. You can attempt to read what our instructions are and go through the process, or you can click this button. This is a link that will take you through a document that you can actually download. It's called No More Forms Instructions. If you click on that button, and you can save it or open it, but I'll just open it for the demonstration for the tutorial. This gives you a step-by-step exactly what every page looks like and samples of what it looks like. So if you really wanted to read this ahead of time, you can absolutely do that. I'm not going to read over it for the purposes of this tutorial, but it is totally spelled out here with examples of screenshots, so you can see what's next and what to expect. Okay, so it's all here. You can download that and use it side by. You can print it off and have it side by side with you while you're going through the process. So that's available to you. But if we are not doing the downloading that process and downloading the instructions, you can continue on reading with what we have under the Getting Started for licensed members. Okay, so we can view detailed instructions here for additional information. Okay, click this link to begin the appointment process for No More Forms. This is the actual link. I'll click it in a minute. So if you've never used No More Forms, begin the process with the first box marked Login. For Insure, click or select a client. The scroll down is the American National Insurance. A lot of carriers use this platform, not just American National. There's hundreds or dozens at least anyway. And so you might have already actually used it and not remember. So if you do that, if you have done that in the past, it will remember you, and it will remember that you made a password back in the day. So that's something to keep in mind in case you kind of get stumped there, because it's going to remember your social security number, your name, and if you created a password back in the day, you don't know what it is, we've got a workaround for that as well. But let's pretend like you didn't, and you're clicking it for the first time. You're going to put in your first name, your last name, your social security number. For the space, assign yourself a password. Enter a password in the space, Now, it has to contain at least 8 characters. You have to have at least 1 capital letter, 1 number, and 1 special character. Special characters are usually the shift function would be involved, like shift 1 for exclamation point, shift 2 for @ and so on and so forth. Remember this password so you can log in later using it along with your social security number. Next, to link to your contract with WSLG in the client package code space, enter capital P, capital D, capital A, capital G, capital T, 7, capital T. Now you can copy and paste this. That function works fine when doing this, but you're going to need to have that exact package code. Click Login to No More Forms. Now, if you receive the following message, it means that you've already created an account with No More Forms in the past. Here's the message. The password that you have supplied does not match our records. Does not match our records because the number of individuals and companies that use No More Forms, it is possible that you are already in the system. Passwords are case sensitive. Please either try your password again or click here to change your password. Please click the back button to return to the login screen. Now, in this case, click the link here above to change your password and try to log in again at the box marked Returning Applicant. Make sure you've selected American National Insurance as the insurer. Enter your social security number, password, and the client package code, PDAGT7T. Click Login to No More Forms. So once you've logged into No More Forms, you'll see a series of documents to click on. Most of these are only asking for your confirmation and agreement. Some ask for personal information to complete for the appointment. Here's some of the information you'll need to complete the process for the following documents. So the IMO PD transmittal number 11. That's NMW is going to be Wealth Strategies Leadership Group. The PC number is GOEUF. And the email address that you're going to input is anico.wslg@gmail.com. That's anico.wslg@gmail.com. Now, agent contract 4738. The recruiting organization is Wealth Strategies Leadership Group. And it's going to be submitted by, type in the name Darryl Cox, DARRYLCOX. Now, that's if you're not appointed with American National, you'll use No More Forms, and that is the process for doing so. Now, if you are contracted with American National, so if you have written business with your current IMO or any IMO that you're with in the last 6 months, you need to get a release form from your current IMO FMO. It can be a simple letter or an email pretty much stating I release you. It can be 2 sentences. I release Ryan Gunnarsson to contract with another IMO. Signed, John Doe. Now, if you have not written business in the last 6 months, a release isn't necessary, so you don't need to get that email. Let's say you signed up, you wrote business a long time ago, and you haven't written anything, you do not need that release form. Now, in either case, whether you've written business in the last 6 months or you haven't, there's paperwork to fill out. Now, we've condensed it, so there's only a 1 page that actually needs to be filled out, but you can download the whole contracting paperwork and read the whole thing, but we only need contract 2nd page. So click the Here button. That's going to bring up a page where you can get your complete Anico appointment paperwork. You can download the whole thing here. I'll do a quick open of it so you can see. It's 18 pages. Don't have to do that, everyone. But you can have a copy of it for yourself, and that's where that is. Now, all you need to do is download this page and fill it out and send it in to us. So you need your signature and to print your name and to date it. And that's basically it. You can name a beneficiary for your commissions if you like. You want to pass those on to your loved one or a friend or a business partner. You can put that on there. So that's the only page we need. So print that out, date it, sign it, make it effective, put your name in there, and then you're going to send that back to us. The way to send that back to us, if you're down at the bottom part of this section, print, complete, and sign contract 2nd page. Please scan and email it to anico.wslg@gmail.com. Now, make sure that your errors and omissions policy declaration page is available. You're going to need information from that. You cannot contract with American National or any other carrier for that matter if you don't have any errors and omissions policy. So you can, if you don't have any, you can purchase it from one of these companies. I've got personal experience with Napa and CalSurance in the past. I think Napa I found to be the easiest and fastest. You can do it online, and I believe they were kind of the cheapest too, depending on what state you're in. A little bit different pricing. So after being appointed, work with your upline for your illustrations and your case design. If you want to get appointed for indexed annuity or whole life or any of the other products that we're going to sell, we don't have the process online for that right now. But if you have stuff that you need to do right away, email Mike at WSLGonline.com, and we'll talk to you about your case design and your appointment paperwork for that. So everything that we covered tonight was starting your replicated pages, passing your test, and you're getting certified, downloading the study guide to do that first. And then after passing your certification test, you can order business cards. That's going to be the next process that you're going to be able to do. And we need to get appointed. Now, you may want to do your appointment paperwork before you pass your test because it takes some days to do. So I would suggest uploading your picture, fill out the appointment paperwork right away, and then start reading your study guide, because you may be the type of person that wants to read for 3 or 4 days before you take your test, or you may just dive right into it. I personally just dove right into everything and had it all completed in a day. That was me. But everybody learns at a different pace and has different time and has different families that are, keeping them distracted and other things going on. So we understand that. Do it at your own pace. But those are the things that you're going to need to accomplish before we start training you to get into schools. From there, the next part that you will learn is the college funding roadmap section. Just briefly, I'm going to tell you what the tutorial for this is. So if you click on college funding roadmap and you scroll down, this is where you got your study guide. But if you scroll down to College Smart Prospecting First Step, if you scroll down a little further, prepare yourself by downloading these documents and view the training video. This is the training video on how to open schools and all of the paperwork and necessary collaterals and tools that you're going to need in order to start making money, start marketing yourself, and start getting leads so you can sell the IULs and the annuities and the different products that are going to better this family to get more financial aid. So I hope we learned something from the tutorial. This is the tutorial on getting started. Your second tutorial that you need to watch next, after you've completed everything under getting started, will be view the training video under college funding roadmap. And that is everything. So watch this a couple of times, or when you recruit somebody, have them tell them the first thing you're going to want to do is watch this video, getting started, and we will walk them through, and it'll help them better segue through the process of setting up the websites, getting appointed with our carriers, and ordering business cards, and getting the right foot forward on study guide into college funding roadmap. We're going to sign off here, and look forward to talking with you on the next tutorial.